After 25 years of leadership development work across 4 continents, I can predict with remarkable accuracy who will successfully transition into leadership, not based on their skills or charisma, but one simple distinction. Do they approach their development strategically or accidentally? Most aspiring leaders are accidental developers. They read a book here, attend a workshop there, and hope that the experience will somehow forge them into the leader they want to become. Then they're shocked when they finally get the role and feel unprepared, overwhelmed, and uncertain. Meanwhile, a small few treat leadership development like the serious professional transition it is, with intention, with a strategy, and with a system. These are the people who step into leadership with confidence and clarity. Over the past 5 episodes, we've laid the groundwork for this transition. Now we are bringing it all together. We're going to explore why most leadership development fails and reveal the counterintuitive principles that separate leaders who are prepared in theory from those who are prepared for reality. The leadership development industry has a fundamental flaw. It treats leadership like a collection of techniques to learn, not an identity to be developed. It forgets that at its heart, leadership is about connection. Picture the typical path. Someone decides they want to be a leader, so they start collecting skills. They learn about delegation, feedback, and strategic thinking. On paper, they look prepared. But the first time that they have to give difficult feedback, they freeze. The first time they have to make a high-stakes decision, they hesitate. Why? Because the theory they learned is useless without a deep connection to self. They haven't done the deeper internal work that allows them to connect with and lead others under pressure. Leadership isn't about learning a new script. It's about building the internal foundation that allows you to show up with strength and grace. My work has shown that this foundation rests on 3 pillars. First, recognizing value, which means developing an unshakable confidence in your worth that doesn't fluctuate with external validation. Second, embodying grace, which means cultivating the internal steadiness to remain curious and compassionate under pressure. Third, conquering control, which means building the wisdom to focus where your energy can create real impact. Without this internal foundation of connected leadership, all external techniques in the world remain superficial. Useful in theory, but inaccessible when a real challenge tests your resolve. This brings us to the core difference between accidental and strategic development. I call it collecting gear versus preparing for the expedition. The accidental developer is a gear collector. They spend years acquiring impressive-looking tools. They get an MBA, collect certificates, read all the best-selling leadership books. They look like an expert climber, but they've never actually been on a mountain. The strategic developer is an expedition planner. They know a successful climb isn't about having the fanciest gear. It's about deep preparation and connection to their own capabilities, their purpose, and to the team that they're leading. They start by understanding the mountain itself. That's the deep work of self-awareness. They spend time acclimating at base camp, building their internal strength and resilience. They never climb alone. They have a trusted guide and support system. Consider Jennifer, the software engineer. She was an expedition planner. Before she ever applied for a leadership role, she was on the smaller mountains, volunteering to lead projects, mentoring junior developers. She was acclimatizing, building her leadership muscle. When the opportunity for the big climb came, she was ready. Now think of David. He was a gear collector. He was technically excellent and assumed that was enough. When he was promoted, the pressure and altitude of real leadership left him breathless. He had all the right gear, but he had never prepared for the expedition. The pattern is clear. You can't buy your way to the summit by collecting gear. You have to intentionally prepare for the climb. Transformation from contributor to leader is not an accident. It doesn't happen by reading one more book or waiting until you feel ready. It's the result of a systematic journey to build internal infrastructure, that deep sense of connection to your value, your grace, and your focus that makes leadership feel energizing and sustainable. Over these 6 episodes, we've explored the mindset, the behaviors, the path, the influence, and the weight of this journey. We've shown you the mountain. But understanding the mountain is not the same as being prepared to climb it. Leaders who make it to the summit are those who commit to a strategic expedition with the right support and guidance. So now, you're at a choice point. You can continue to be a gear collector, reading another article, hoping the next workshop is the magic bullet, and leaving your future to chance. Or you can become an expedition planner and approach this transition with the strategy, intention, and support it truly deserves. The choice you make determines not just whether you get the opportunity, but whether you'll be ready to lead with connection and confidence when you get there. Your future team is counting on you to prepare for the climb. This week's commitment isn't a task, it's a decision. Decide your approach. Are you a gear collector or are you an expedition planner? Make a conscious, intentional choice. Your future as a leader starts with that decision. What has been your single biggest insight from this 6-part series? Share in the comment what shifted for you and which path you're choosing for your development. And if someone in your network is considering leadership, share this series with them. The expedition is too important to begin by accident. Thank you for joining me. The transformation is possible, the path is clear, and the support is available. The only question is, are you ready to commit to the development that creates the leader you're meant to become?